Hi there, it's the 26th of March 2026 as I am recording this, and this is day 4 of my dumbphone challenge and quiet quitting bad news online. Not quite, because I am online for 1 to 2 hours a day, 1 hour on YouTube, maybe less or slightly more if I include 5 minutes of doom scrolling on Instagram and literally 2 minutes of checking my Facebook feed for any announcements in the community, and if any of my family members have messaged, and I just get out of there as soon as I can because I can't stand that place anymore. And my Instagram algorithm is all just giving me feminist content and anti-misogyny content, which I all agree with, by the way. And I'm sorry that the past few days have been in total darkness. It's because I am driving and I am on the motorway now, and it's crazy wet outside. I'm driving through a storm on my way to work. It's my 4th night shift tonight. And it is what it is. I'm sorry for all of the outside noise that I can't do much about at the moment. But I hope that the audio is clear somehow. And I am still driving at 80 to 90 kilometers per hour because gas is the price of gold now. And this is how I am helping to keep our petrol costs to the bare necessary minimum, by just traveling for essential purposes like work and picking up the kids, and then just staying at home most of the time and clustering my errands, which I have already done yesterday. Today was really busy. Today was the day of the parent-teacher conferences, and I have been online with 7 different teachers combined for my kids. And I had to drive one of my kids to piano lessons and back in this rain. It's been raining the whole day today. Heavy rain and heavy wind. And had to cook dinner in between all that. And I also filled up the paperwork for the electric vehicle application loan. We really hope that we get approved, because paying for petrol on my 20-year-old car will work out to be more expensive than if we just paid regularly on an electric vehicle loan that will be much newer in terms of technology and safety, and most especially electricity, as compared to petrol. And if you look at my car, I am driving as I'm filming this. I don't know if you can see it, but the distance traveled is already very high. Not surprising, because this car has been with us for 10 years. Well, the car is 20 years old, but the car has been with us for actually 11 or 12 years now. I can't really remember the first time when we got this car. And I mostly drive it on the motorway. We don't drive it much on rough roads at all. So the engine is well taken care of. It just passed its warrant of fitness. And this is as well taken care of as can be, considering the age of the car. And I hope that we get a buyer for this car at a decent price that we can put towards the loan that we also hope we get approved for to start with. I'm gonna try my best not to rant too much about my existential thoughts and philosophy, but forgive me if it might slip out every now and then, because that's really what's in my heart and my mind. I will also try my best not to comment too much about politics, but to care for politics and what's going on in the world is to be a concerned citizen about the world that you live in. And to me, that's a good thing and not a bad thing. It only becomes a bad thing if the politicians themselves put profit over people, and that's what is the root of all evil. That's the root of all that's wrong in our society and in our relationships and in our world. If you put profit over lives of your fellow human beings, that's very illogical to me, because the purpose of money and power is to make life better for people. It's not for a few individuals to own all of them and have everyone else starve and die. I don't know why that's such a radical concept for some. What do you do when you already have all of the money in the world and all of the power, and you have more security, more food, more houses, more clothing, more cars, more everything than you can ever hope to use or enjoy in your lifetime, at the expense of other people starving and being homeless and being jobless, and or slaving away their entire life and still not earn enough? What's the point? Where's the joy in that? And the Epstein class, don't get me started. Well, here's me talking about politics just as soon as I promised not to talk about it. So scrap that. Forget that I promised anything. What's the point in allegedly raping girls and some boys, traumatizing them for life, forcing yourself onto them without their consent, taking advantage of their innocence, allegedly getting some of them impregnated, allegedly disappearing their offspring for allegedly ritual sacrifice, or allegedly eating them so that you can preserve your youth? Where's the joy in that? I can't even be happy with money that may be given to me at the expense of lives, literal lives. If someone died to give me money at the expense of their life, I wouldn't be happy taking that money. And here they are for so many years getting off of other people's pain and suffering, and not just other people, little kids who are innocent, who have done nothing wrong. I don't understand how on the spectrum of humanity such evil can exist. And I don't understand why we were created with the capacity for so much evil. I understand that we also have the capacity for good, but objectively looking at the world now, can you honestly tell me it's a 50-50 split? And can you honestly tell me, without the absence of consequences, that that 9 out of 10 men would just help themselves to the body of a female, the younger the better, if they knew that there would be no punishment or repercussion for whatever their actions are? And the men will say not all men, but the problem with not all men is that we don't know which men to be wary of. And enough men are still doing it for it to be a significant statistic, you know what I mean? I didn't watch any videos today related to that because I've had a week's fill, or maybe a month's fill of all of this content from Instagram, when I spent one of my online allowances just looking through my Instagram feed, because the algorithm decided that this is all I'm about, you know, when I'm such a multidimensional being and I care for a lot of things. But the moment you click on a few topics that are related, it's just going to keep serving you that for the entire time that you're doom scrolling. And on YouTube, I also didn't watch anything new today, actually. I watched a few comedy videos because the comedians are the ones that are telling the truth now more than the mainstream media outlets. I really like the comedy of Sammy Obeid and that Middle Eastern guy, Rudy. I forgot what his surname is. And Trevor Noah's a classic, Awaken with JP, because more truth comes out of their mouths and they're still able to make us laugh even when none of this is funny. The laughter just helps us cope, and we're not laughing at anyone suffering. And I didn't really spend much time on my smartphone, apart from having to download PDFs because the links to the bookings of the parent-teacher conferences were on there, having to download the home application form and my credit card statements and my payslips that are a requirement for the loan application. But still, the rest of this day at home just went by really fast. I left the house with my elder child helping my younger child do their Kumon homework because I literally ran out of time to sit down and support her in that today, when a couple of errands that are not in our usual routine occupy the day. That just throws everything off, because I only spend about 3.5 to 4 hours of my waking time at home. The rest of the time I am sleeping because I've just come off a 10-hour night shift, and some of that were doing chores and bathing or eating. There's just not enough time the way the system is designed, unless you live in a country or your socioeconomic status is such that you can afford help with chores and cleaning the house in general. Then there isn't really much time on our hands for overseas workers who immigrated to a different country where nannies aren't a thing and everything is down to you. Working full-time is down to you. Maintaining the house is down to you. Raising your kids full-time is down to you while you work full-time. And that's my life, and that's the life of 100,000 other immigrants like me. I am not special, but just not complaining, just describing the reality. I hope I didn't miss my exit because I've been so lost in thought while I'm driving, and it's always just a straight drive from home to work. I can't see any exit signs, and the rain is really bad. I shouldn't be doing this more often because this isn't safe. But I just feel bad for literally keeping you in the dark the past 3 days. And this is my last night for this week, and I'm really happy. I won't complain, whatever happens today. I just wish for the safety of the patients, whatever comes through the door after hours tonight, and our safety as nurses with licenses. If we manage to care for everyone and have good outcomes for everyone and managing the time properly, then I'll be happy with that until the end of the shift. And the plants are happy, they're getting water. We've been a bit negligent with the garden, and because I'm taking away my time from doom scrolling in the past and putting it towards my real world, my real physical world now, I hope to be able to be more on top of the chores, the garden, the kids, the cooking from scratch, for the sake of our wallets and our health. I hope to be able to do that, just basic things that are just required in order to exist decently in this world. And I hope to be able to get back to some of my analog hobbies. I've also been wanting to learn how to draw and procreate for such a long time now, but wasn't able to because of things like doctor's appointments, our turn having to host Bible studies, applying for a loan, researching and test driving cars in order to replace this one because of that stupid war that didn't have to happen. And in the next few months, I will have to do my usual competency to prove that I'm still competent to practice as a nurse, which is silly as hell, such a waste of time. But I'm gonna need to put in all of those education hours and write about it just to show whoever's in the office somewhere that I still know what I'm doing and that I can still do my job. And this is how most of my days go. Time goes very quickly here in New Zealand. Or I don't know, is it just an adult thing? Because we're adults with more responsibilities, henceforth why time seems to go so much quicker. And in quiet moments by myself where I would normally previously pick up my phone and the other people around me pick up their phones, I will go on my Nokia 3210 to read a text file that I loaded on there about practices that I can do in order to strengthen my lucid dreaming and exercising my sovereignty in my mind, so that when I leave this life and I get faced by quote unquote loved ones or angels or God or the light and telling me that I still have lessons to learn and that I should come back and be a better person and learn what I didn't learn in this lifetime, I will be able to give them a flat out no. And in that state, we're going to be so prone to suggestion, they say. So these are things that I have to develop, and I'm really complaining that we have to work this hard to just not get sucked into the trap of being here on this difficult earth again. But this is something that I have to do, and I believe that I am in this lifetime at the moment to discover this exact truth and to be able to work out how to leave this place finally when my time is up. That's the ultimate goal. And the secondary goals, tomorrow I hope to be able to make a wrist strap for my phone and do one of the custom designs for the back of my ebook reader and my Nokia 3210 and my Any Oasis MP3 player, to be able to decorate them with the nail stickers that I got. And I bought quite a lot of those sheets because I want them to last me a lifetime and to just change them up every time it's Christmas or if it's Halloween, or assign a random theme to the month just to change things up. These are the types of useless aesthetic hobbies that I sincerely find joy in, and I hope to be able to find the time to do that tomorrow, now that I've submitted the application and now that I have finished with the parent-teacher conferences and my child's piano lessons are over and this run of night shifts are over for this week. I hope to be able to sink into some of my hobbies that somehow feed my soul and help me sustain my existence here on this planet. Which is not to say that, I don't know who I'm praying to at this point, because I'm not atheist, but I'm not Christian either. I always pray a prayer of thanks for everything that's working and for everything that's functioning and going according to plan, and that our basic needs are still met. But this shouldn't be the baseline, you know. Life is so much more than this, and I wish for everyone that we all meet our needs in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Easier said than done in this world, but that's my naive dream for everyone. And with that, I am here at work now, taking out my usual stuff, putting this on, taking out my ID. I just need to clip this onto my bag. That's the Kodama that I was showing you yesterday. Car key, bar key, AirTag, all going here. And ever since discovering Ita bags, I cannot not have an Ita bag anymore. I like all of my bags to be Ita bags. Taking out my ID. If I didn't show it to you yesterday properly, apologies. This is the secondary Kodama locker key, name stamp, and where are my scissors? Where did it go? Maybe it got removed, but I'll look for it on a different day. Time for me to go. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for listening.